Alrighty, good day guys, and welcome back to another draft analysis on the channel. Yes, it seems like we're doing a lot of these lately, but this one is for the NCP Nimbus, which is a Wi-Fi division. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the Wi-Fi at the moment, so I'm in yet another league. This one's run by our very good buddy, John Jr. I'll leave him down below, although everyone probably knows him by now, if you're on my channel. But yeah, this is very much a fun. It's standard tiers. As you can see on the side, your tiers 1 through 5, and then your mega and your 4 free picks. You know how it all goes. But yeah, this is very much for fun. I'm just gonna pick things that I want to use. Not really gonna think too much about synergy here. But just basically grab what I want that's left on the board. This is very much my laid back, have fun with a few friends sort of league, and see how we go. So starting off in our first pick, I say all that, and then you can see a Megalop sitting here, and this is one that I have wanted, that I hate facing. It is a pain in the backside to prep for. I mean, fake out last resort, frustration, power up punch, quick attack, like you can be cosmic power. There's too many sets for this thing. Like cosmic power, drain punch, actually beaten me before. Yes, unplayer if I'm lost to that set, but who cares? So I'm like, you know what? Let's just grab this thing. I had third pick, I think, overall, and Coco Selly went before me. So I was like, those are two mons that I wouldn't have mind trying. More so Selly than anything. I almost grabbed Mew, but you know what? I'm gonna grab Megalop because this thing looks like a lot of fun, and I mean, everyone knows what it does. It can even dry baton pass as some momentum, which I believe is allowed. I don't know. I'll have to check on that. But I mean, this is gonna be our go roundhouse here. Gonna come in, gonna claim some lives. There's no switch ins to this thing. Like I think your only switch ins are gonna be like bulky psychics because it doesn't get, I think, brutal swing is its best ghost, like dark or ghost move, which that's not a good move. So yeah, like bulky psychics are gonna be the only way that really live this hit, but still, like frustrations, returns, last resorts, they're gonna do a lot of damage. But yeah, so moving on, round two, we decided to grab Katana, and I thought, you know what, this is left on the board late round two. I might as well pick this thing up. It's this is gonna be another mon. It's gonna come a lot. It gives us another good speed tier. Gives us defogger, although probably not gonna run defog very often. It's a nice steel type, grass, steel grass coverage. It gets fighting coverage. It gets like X's and knockoff. Fighting coverage again with Lop. I think I said that twice. Never mind. But yeah, it's basically, this thing hits hard. You can boost its speed with or attack with beast boost. It gets swords dance, so you can like run a speed boosting set and then swords dance, and you can just clean sweep. This is one of our Z users, so there's also like bloom claims, secret, like there's so many different sets you can run with this thing, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm like, you know what, this looks fun, so why not? Also, before I get into our next pick, you can see on the screen there that John, our boy, who made the graphics, which by the way look fire. Again, check him out down below if you haven't. He made a spot for Facecam, and I'm like, nah, I don't do that. So we're just going to throw a little custom avatar that I made that I use for my showdown leagues, and a couple of Lily gifts, because why not? Good mon. Best mon. But yeah, so round 3, I decided to grab this mon, and that's Gudra. And this is big boy. This is going to be JJ, because John loves some Gudra. Which is why I grabbed it round 3, because I really wanted to try this thing. I enjoy me some Gudra. Like, you can run a max HP AV set and you just don't die. Like, you can run a band, a specs. You can run some of the like Chinese EV spreads that make you live all these hits under the sun and then like KO back with the plethora of coverage moves it gets. I think it gets Fire Blast, it gets Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Power Whip, Dragon, moves galore, gets Rain Dance. It gets a lot of things. It also gets Earthquake. Like this is a very good one, and it's gonna be a bit thick because I was like, first two mons, not the bulkiest. Like Megalop can live hits, Kartana can live physical hits. It like dies to a soft breeze on the special side. And so I'm like, you know what? Gudra can switch into those special mons, especially fire mons that it wants to use. It also gets Muddy Water. That's another coverage move. So it can switch into those fire types. It gets Earthquake, it gets Muddy Water. This is all good. I'm like, you know what? Let's pick this thing up. Next up, we've got Florges. And this goes into our tier 2 slot. Florges and Gudra, not really tier 2s in my opinion, like bottom end tier 2s, like good tier 3s, probably more so Florges than Gudra. Gudra in tier 2 is not terrible. But I was like, you know what, I don't really mind. I want to use these mons. Florges, I'm like, what better to pair with Gudra? A nice fat Wish Parcel, a nice fairy, something that can eat hits. It's a cleric in case like Megalop or Kartana get paralyzed. It's another defogger. It's just a great all-round mon. And then you can also run like Carmine sets with like a lot of defense investment. It gets 2 garbage abilities that do nothing, but is what it is. I was like, you know what? I've used Sylveon in the past. I've used Slurpuff as well. I've even used Wigglytuff, but I haven't used Florges in a good minute. Now, I mean, between Florges and Gudra, like our Spidef mons are covered. They're both massively fat on the special side to the point where you can actually run like timid Florges with not a lot of bulk in Spidef. You can speed creep some things, run a bit of special attack with a nice amount of HP, and you can actually still check a lot of special attackers that don't have like steel or poison coverage. And I think that's phenomenal. It gives me a lot more options when building, and it looks like just an overall fun mon to use. So now onto our, what are we up to now? 5th round pick? 5th round. I was like, you know what? Let's go back to the theme of things that don't have a switch in. And I'm like, we got a couple of special attackers the last couple of rounds. Let's grab ourselves a Staraptor. And this thing, I saw my good buddy Owen use this in, I think it was NCP Season 1, or it was another league, I don't know. But this thing looked a lot of fun. Banded, Scarfed, Life Orb, not Expert, but like Silk Scarf, or like you can run a lot of sets on this thing. It hits hard, especially Band. Not a lot of things want to switch in and take Banded Flying or normal moves. Those things are Steel and Rock types. They don't want to take Banded Close Combats. And then on the off chance that he's got a Ghost type, well, you can get like Ghost types don't want to take flying moves. I don't think there's a Rock Ghost or anything that resists flying and fighting. I don't know. But if so, we've also get U-turn for momentum. We get another Defogger. Not that I want to be running Defog on this very often, but it's another option. It gets quick attack for priority. Gets reckless and intimidate. Gets roost for recovery. So that's another mon that we have with recovery. It's a good pivot into our attackers like Lop, like Kartana, like an offensive Gudra maybe. So I think it fit the team kind of well. Also gave us a base 100 speed tier. So we've now got Kartana at like 107. We've got Megalop at like 135. Got this at 100. We got Gudra's around like, I think, base 70 speed. And then Florges somewhere in there. So we're building our speed tiers nicely at this point. Even though I said I wasn't really going to look at those when drafting, I don't know, habit creeps in. So moving on next, I was like, you know what? We need something. We need a bulky water. And that's where Slowking came in. Slowking in tier 3. It was here round 6. And I'm like, I like this mon. It can run AV with Regenerator. It can eat hits for days. It can also run like physically defensive sets. It's a phenomenal mon. One of my good buddies, GCS, loves this thing, and he has had great success with it. He is actually starting uploading now. Shameless plug for him. I'm going to put him down in the description. You guys should go check him out. He's a much better battler than I am. He's just a phenomenal guy. But anyway, back to my team. Let's talk about Slowking here. It gets Future Sight, it gets Dragon Tail, it gets Fire Blast, Ice Beam, Scald. Also gets Toxic Slack Off. Regenerate is a great ability. Everyone knows what this thing does. It can like set up Calm Minds. It can run Colba because sometimes you don't need leftovers as often because you get that Regenerator. You can also set Trick Room. Not that we really have an abuser on this squad, but I don't know, it's nice to have. If we want to run like offensive Trick Room, Nasty Plot, Slow King one week, that's an option. And I mean, it just fits my playstyle, I think, which is mons that can fit a lot of different roles. Like this thing could be especially offensive, it can be defensive, it can be especially defensive, it can be like a slow pivot with regenerator. Yeah, it just can do a few things. And a bulky water is always something nice to have, I believe, out of sort of the middle or the higher tiers, just because it's a mon that you want to bring most weeks. And yeah, so moving on. Round 7. You can see I've already got 2 tier 2s from my free picks. And I thought, well, you know what, I'll probably get one more tier 2, just because like there's not a lot in tier 3 that's really grabbing me. And I decided to grab this thing. It was around round 7 we're at now. And I was like, you know what, this probably shouldn't be around now. It's a Powdon. A lot of my mons, as you can see, the defensive ones are a lot more spadef than defensive. Like Slow King and Floor just can run Fizdef sets, although they're not the greatest. I mean, I've got Katana for Fizdef, but I was like, I want something that's just really bulky in case I come across that, I don't know, something that's hits super hard like a Megazard X or something like that that just hits physically like a truck. I was like, you know what, get me some hit powder. Gives me a ground type, gives me some rocker. A rocker, which is actually my first rocker on the squad come round 7. Not a good thing. Probably something I should have looked out for, but as I said, I'm just grabbing things that look fun. This is gonna be our boy Oswald, and I think that's just a cool hippo name. You'll see I've forgotten to mention any other nicknames, but you'll see them in the upcoming vids. Yeah, I will be uploading this season. Whatever today is Saturday, so games will be coming out Saturdays. Look forward to those. I'm getting off track again. We got Hip Out on here. It's great mon, reliable recovery, set sand. We don't have an abuser, but I mean, like, we got Katana, it boosts. It's like Katana doesn't take any damage. That's about all we have going with sand at the moment. Yeah, so I just think it was a really nice fit here. It can be something fat to pivot in, set sand, and then maybe pivot out to one of our more offensive threats. Like if we've got sand up, we fake out with lop. That's a lot of chip racking up to the point where it's going to put things in frustration or last resort or return range, whatever I decide to run that week, or even drain punch. So that was our round 7 pick. Moving on, round 8, we decided to grab Salazzle, and yes, this one does blend into the background a little bit, but I needed one more thing that was sort of between Lopunny and Kartana in terms of speed tiers. And I also needed a fire type. I do like having fires, although it's not super necessary. And I also needed a ground up poison. And Salazzle fit all 3 roles. It's another mon that I've never used. It's super frail. I've used this in a playthrough. Right before I started doing Wi-Fi leagues, I needed to actually beat the game because I did have Ultramoon, but I didn't have a working DS at the time, so I had to then go through and beat the game. And I used this mon on the playthrough, and it's fun. It's a cool looking mon. I like the idea of using Salazzle, so I thought, you know what, let's give it a shot on Wi-Fi. It hits pretty hard, it gets nasty plot, it gets good coverage. It can also run the corrosion toxic set, toxic things like Celesteela, Bronzong, Toxapex, things like that. So it can be a nice stall breaker. It just sort of, it does a good job of that sort of stuff. I don't know what's up with me today, but I cannot talk. But yeah, so we're going to move along nice and swiftly, going into our round 9. I grabbed Vikavolt. I was like, you know what? Let's have something else that hits like a truck, because I don't have enough of those. Some slow pivots I thought would be nice, because the likes of Salazzle, the likes of Kartana, the likes of Lopunny, the likes of Staraptor don't really want to take a hit before they start firing off their own. So I'm like, a slow pivot, Vikavolt does that. It's another mon with reliable recovery. It gets Roost. It can be a slow pivot with Volt Switch, but that slow pivot actually hits like a truck because this thing's got base 145 special attack or something. It can set up and win with agility. It gets good coverage like Bug Buzz or Dual Stabs plus Energy Ball. It gets a couple other moves here and there. Hidden Powers can still hit hard just for that monstrous special attack. Yeah, and it's a fun mod. I'm not gonna pull an A drive and be like, oh, this is the best tier 4 in the format. But it's a fun mod, and that's what this team is. It's fun mods. So now we have second to last pick, Vullaby. And I was like, I'm missing a dark type, I'm missing another defogger, because at the moment I have Florges, Staraptor, Kartana. One of those only wants to run on defog. And I'm missing just another pivot. Dual flying isn't probably the best idea considering we have so many ice weaknesses and my resist is Salazzle and a Slowking, but yeah, Slowking is probably my only ice resist at this point. Yeah, so I got Vullaby. This mon it's very good. It's not as good as it is in Little Cup, which, as you know, is one of my favorite formats. It's defogs. It can actually run a weak armor nasty plot set and catch people off guard when they're expecting like an Eviolite, bulky sort of set. It gets overcoat, so it's not hit by powder moves, something like sleep powder, spore, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's a very versatile mon, and for tier 5, something that forces a little bit of prep or that could come a few more than 1 week, I think that fits what I look for in my bottom tier mons. It also has a dark type, which I mentioned before, which I desperately needed, because otherwise psychic types can just sort of bring 1 move, dual dance, and win, which is not what we want. So yeah, moving on to our last pick, and I had to do it. I had to grab the Mascot, our boy here, Cradilly. I love this mon. I think it's great value in tier 5. I wanted another grass because Kartana was not doing the job that a bulky grass should. I needed another rocker. This mon actually benefits from Sandstorm in the fact that its SPDF goes up. This thing's a phenomenal mon. There are so many sets that I've run on Cradilly in the past. Most of them have worked. Some of them are a bit too gimmicky. But, oh well, it is what it is. I love using this, and I'm going to aim to get a Cradilly sweep at least once this season. Just once. And if I do that, I'll call the season a success. I don't care if I go 0-12, but if I sweep someone with a Cradilly, that's fine by me. But yeah, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us today, guys. As I said, I'll leave those links in the description that I mentioned earlier in the video. Drop a like if you enjoyed and you're excited for the season, and let me know down below how do you think we're going to go this season? What do you think if we're going to be able to pull out any dubs with this team? But yeah, for now, guys, I will see you all next time.